Hari Om Vidya, we can start.
ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः सुष्ठुवागंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्तिः 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 सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयम् करुणालयम् नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करम् लोकशङ्करम् शङ्करम् शङ्कराचार्यम् केशवम् बादरायणम् सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतम् करुणामयम् नमामि चिन्मयम् देवम् सद्गुरुम् ब्रह्मविद्वरम्.
Vidya, second section 1 to 8 you can chant because some people still joining by the time.
Okay.
1 to 8.
Okay.
Second section.
तदेतत् सत्यम् मन्त्रेषु कर्माणि कवयो यान्यपश्यन् तानि त्रेतायाम् बहुधा सन्ततानि तान्याचरथ नियतम् सत्यकामाः एष वः पन्था सुकृतस्य लोके यदा लेलायते ह्यर्चिः समिद्धे हव्यवाहने तदाज्यभागावन्तरेण आहुतिः प्रतिपादयेत् यस्याग्निहोत्रमदर्शमपौर्णमासम् अचातुर्मास्यामनाग्रयणमतिथिवर्जितम् च अहुतम् वैश्वदेवमविधिनाहुतम् आसप्तमांस्तस्य लोकान् हि नस्ति काली कराली च मनोजवाच सुलोहिताया च सुधूम्रवर्णा स्फुलिङ्गिनी विश्वरुची च देवी लेलायमाना इति सप्तजिह्वाः एतेषु यश्चरते भ्राजमानेषु यथा कालम् चाहुतयो ह्याददायन् तं नयन्त्येताः सूर्यस्य रश्मयः यत्र देवानां पतिरेकोऽधिवासः एह्येहीति तमाहुतयः सुवर्चसः सूर्यस्य रश्मिभिर्यजमानं वहन्ति प्रियां वाचमभिवदन्त्योर्चयन्त्यः एष वः पुण्यः सुकृतो ब्रह्मलोकः प्लवाह्येते अधृढा यज्ञरूपाः अष्टादशोक्तमवरं येषु कर्म एतत् श्रेयो ये अभिनन्दन्ति मूढाः जरामृत्युं ते पुनरेवापि यन्ति अविद्यायामन्तरे वर्तमानाः स्वयं धीराः पण्डितं मन्यमानाः जङ्घन्यमानाः पर्यन्ति मूढाः अन्धेनैव नीयमाना यथान्धाः.
Very beautiful. Hari Om to all. So we are doing Mundakopanishad, chapter 1, section 2, and today we'll be reflecting from the 9th verse. So Vidya is chanted 1 to 8. So there is a question asked, what is that by knowing which I will know everything? Indirectly, what is asking is that I'm successful and happy in this world, but still there is incompleteness. Still there is something lack I feel, and is there something called as total fulfillment? That is the meaning of the question. The answer to the question is there are two kinds of knowledges, aparavidya and paravidya. Apara knowledge, para knowledge. So what is apara knowledge? Knowledge about perishable. And paravidya, knowledge about imperishable. So what is perishable? This world, universe is perishable. It is constantly changing. So knowledge about that also would be subject to change. And why it is lower? Because it will not remove my self-ignorance. It will not give me total fulfillment. And knowing one branch of aparavidya will not ensure that I know everything. So it is the knowledge of the objects. Objective knowledge is aparavidya, which can be known through the senses, mind, and intellect. This is very important. And the paravidya, 6 lakshanas were given, that it cannot be known by the senses, it cannot be known by the mind, it cannot be known by the intellect. It is all pervading, it is eternal, it is omniscient. And important point given was that all this perishable has come from the imperishable. So that was the last point mentioned in the 12th Lakshana, that the source of the perishable is imperishable. So the perishable comes from the imperishable and goes back in the perishable. And then the sequence and the process was given how this perishable comes. Now definitely, as we are describing apara knowledge as knowledge about the object, paravidya is knowledge about the subject, and that subject is myself. So I must be interested. Otherwise, I'm not interested to know about some paravidya which is not related to me. So that imperishable is myself. And I cannot know myself because even my eyes cannot see myself. So I have to take help of the mirror. So the mirror here is the Upanishad. Shabda Pramana. Only through Shabda Pramana we can know that I am imperishable. I can know that I am. But who is this I? We have only one reference as Shabda Pramana. And this Shabda Pramana comes through the experience of a teacher. So Guru Vakya is the Pramana. So now what would definitely the teacher do is that to get the student interested in the Paravidya as the mother does to the child. If the child is holding something, like let us say a phenyl bottle, which is not so good for the child because it can put it in the mouth, it will bring another toy or another toffee, and so this is very nice, and the child shifts its attention from that phenyl bottle to this toffee. In the same way, the second section of Mundakopanishad, chapter 1, second section, Khanda 2, is devoted to giving faults and to glorify the Paravidya, the downfall of ignorance, karma, etc. is given. So what we have to do is that turn the attention from the objective world to the subjective world and ask, oh, am I this imperishable? I didn't know only, I don't feel only. And then there are further meditation processes given in Mundakopanishad to realize that this imperishable is myself. So in this second khanda, what Vidya has chanted 8 mantras, main topic is what? Is that the Aparavidya, the result, what we get is Abhyudaya. And Paravidya, the result, what we get is Nishreyasa. So, to glorify this Nishreyasa, we have to find, in Vedanta we call as Dukkha Dosha Buddhi. There might be some people who are finding lot of happiness in fish, but then those people who cannot stand the fish smell, they will find dukkha dosha buddhi in that fish. So to create that, following points were discussed to ensure that the attention shifts from apara to paravidya. What are the points? That this abhyudaya is the result of action, point number one, and is result to get, the action has to be in following factors, these following rules to be followed, time to be followed, then there are ways to be followed, then the person doing must be competent, the person must have the character, and then with all these kind of rules and regulations and timing, darsha purna masa, we described, and then we have to put that butter into that Kali, Karali, when that mantra is chanted exactly in that flame. If that butter or that samhita goes into another flame, then the result is not possible. So all these examples are Vedic examples, and the example taken there is Agnihotra. So we had taken here example of cooking a dum biryani, which is almost a 2 hours process. And if anything goes wrong, then the entire result goes for a toss. So one important word what we have to remember is that hinasti, that the efforts are huge, but the results are not long lasting. And that we can see from our day-to-day life also. That how are we enjoying our life, family, job, business? Yeah, there is happiness, there is enjoyment, but there is subject to loss. Anytime it can go. It is not everlasting. One small happiness we are getting, and then the attention goes to next happiness, and then we say touch wood, touch wood. Touch wood is a very interesting phrase. We must remember our happiness is mixed with fear that it might go. So then that's the reason it is called in the sixth mantra that this raft, plava, this karma raft is subject to disintegration. Do not ride on this karma plava, because karma comes from ajnana, avidya, because avidya leads to ignorance, or avidya leads to karta bhava. Karta bhav leads to kama. Kama leads to karma. Karma leads to karma phala. And karma phala leads to karma bandhana. So this plava, this raft, where you are sitting to get abhyudaya, is not so steady. But the Rishi here, Mundakopanishad, Rishi laughs that Swayam Dhira Pandita Manyamana, means there are people who think that whatever they know in this life, they are very intelligent and they know everything, and I will do whatever I feel because I have got some success and failure. But so what? As Swamiji mentioned twice in both the sessions, one question very important, which was also Gurudev's question, but in another context, that so what? So what? What will happen? Nothing is, after 100 years, 200 years, 500 years, 1000 years, whatever I did, whatever I gained, it is not going to last. So the topic continues here. And again, this Rishi is bringing about this topic that avidyam antare. No, avidyam antare is the eighth one. Avidyayam bahuda vartamana. So that we are going to see in the ninth verse that why this particular person remains ignorant, what are the reasons and ultimately what he would get and why he is called as an ignorant person. Now, when when the Rishi is describing ignorant, I must also look into the mirror and look at myself that whether I am ignorant person, whether I am Pramuda is calling, or whether I am a wise person. And then we are going to take this topic further, where further logics are given to ensure that our attention shifts from aparavidya to paravidya, from abhyudaya to nishreyasa. So, Vidya, can you chant 9, 10, 11 twice?
अविद्यायां बहुधा वर्तमानाः वयं कृतार्था इत्यभिमन्यन्ति बालाः यत्कर्मिणो न प्रवेदयन्ति रागात् तेनातुराक्षीणलोकाश्च वन्ते अविद्यायां बहुधा वर्तमानाः वयं कृतार्था इत्यभिमन्यन्ति बालाः यत्कर्मिणो न प्रवेदयन्ति रागात् तेनातुराक्षीणलोकाश्च वन्ते इष्टापूर्तं मन्यमाना वरिष्ठम् नान्यत् श्रेयो वेदयन्ते प्रमूढाः नाकस्य पृष्ठे ते सुकृते अनुभूत्वा इमं लोकं हीनतरं वा विशन्ति इष्टापूर्तं मन्यमाना वरिष्ठम् नान्यत् श्रेयो वेदयन्ते प्रमूढाः नाकस्य पृष्ठे ते सुकृतेऽनुभूत्वा इमं लोकं हीनतरं वा विशन्ति तपश्रद्धेये ह्युपवसन्त्यरण्ये शान्ता विद्वांसो भैक्षचर्यां चरन्तः सूर्यद्वारेण ते विरजाः प्रयान्ति यत्रामृतः स पुरुषो ह्यव्ययात्मा तपश्रद्धेये तपश्रद्धेये ह्युपवसन्त्यरण्ये शान्ता विद्वांसो भैक्षचर्यां चरन्तः सूर्यद्वारेण ते विरजाः प्रयान्ति यत्रामृतः स पुरुषो ह्यव्ययात्मा.
Very nice. So, continuing the topic of glorifying Paravidya by criticizing Aparavidya, one analogy is taken here of Bala, child. So, sometimes, when we are learning Bhagavad Gita Upanishad, we might think that we have grown up, but from this verse, we will understand whether we are still children or whether we have outgrown certain things. So, what this mantra means literally means children immersed in ignorant in various ways, flatter themselves, saying that we have accomplished life's purpose because these performers of karma do not know the truth owing to their attachment. They fall from heaven, misery stricken when the fruit of their work is exhausted. So, here we also see, sometimes people saying that, he's lived his life. When people, die sometimes, he has lived his life. Means what? Means he went to school, went to college, got married, 2 children, got a job, 2 car. But that is abhyudaya. Whether he has got the paravidya and then got that total fulfillment, goal of life, purpose of life, then it will not be accomplished. But still we feel that no, the person has or I have lived the fulfillment of life. So here the analogy taken is of child. So what is a child's interest? Play, then interest in playing with the toys. In Hindi we say khana or khelna. And that is their life purpose. Now we may not be thinking that we are children, but according to this verse in Mundakopanishad is calling us children only. The only difference is that who is the child? The ignorant person not understanding the real value. This I must underline and write down those who are writing notes. like Swamiji took this example that real value is not understood, then that particular person is called as ignorant person. We will come to that when we complete this particular verse. So why the child's example is taken? Because indirectly the indication is given to us is that what is our life's purpose? We are also interested and attached to what bigger different toys. What are the bigger different toys? We are seeking permanent happiness from temporary situations, objects, people. So our toys are what? Situations. I want to experience this situation. I want to deal with this object. I want to have different experience with this person. I want to, as Swamiji mentioned, I want to go to Switzerland. Now people might say, I don't want to go to Swarga, but Switzerland is a Swarga. No, no, not my bucket list is 1, 2, 3, 4, and the intensity of experiences are different. And seeking happiness where it is not located, so that is ignorance, like a child. Suppose we keep before a child who is 2 years or 3 year old, one bowl of toy or toffees which the child likes, and another bowl we keep 1 lakh rupees notes, currency notes. The child will definitely go for a 5 rupee toy and 5 rupee toffee, and might take the currency note and put in the mouth and crumble and tear also, because the value is not known to the child. And I think that I know the value. So now Swamiji mentioned that we also do not know the value of our human birth, and we waste our entire human birth in Abhyudaya and do not focus onto Nishreyasa. Then what is another purpose of life? Do punya and seek higher happiness in Swarga. What is the meaning of Swarga? Higher, different, intense happiness. This we will also process for 2 minutes. What is Swarga also? So people say, no, I don't want to go to Matheran and Lonavala. The experience intensity is less. Now I don't enjoy in Matheran and Lonavala for a holiday. I want Switzerland, Paris, or I want Mahabaleshwar. I want, higher and higher. I don't enjoy all these places. No, that I have seen. I want to go for higher one. That higher one, different one is Swarga in day-to-day life, those who are not seeking Swarga. As J.K. Krishnamurti says, that experience, etymologically, suppose we look into that word experience, it is to go through. If that desire is still there to go through another experience, then it will be Swarga, because many people today say, I'm not interested in Swarga. Whether it is there or not, we do not know. But seeking higher and higher experiences, more and more experiences, is Abhyudaya only. And for some people, enlightenment, moksha also is experience, but it is not an experience, because it is me only. And some people think that enlightenment, moksha means there will be some light and some amazing experience. Actually, it is the most ordinary thing, because it is my own self. Recognizing my own self itself is enlightenment. That imperishable, that is me. So, what is reality? Seeking happiness in this world and higher worlds are goals in life, not goal of life. Goals in life are security, money, fame, power. These are goals in life. School, college, marriage, travel, car, bungalow. Goals in life, abhyudaya. But goal of life is nishreyasa and knowing that imperishable. Why it is not considered to be highest? Because once punya is over, we come back from Swarga. That is what Swamiji gave example. One very nice sentence also he mentioned. We will see that sentence. But what is the life in Swarga? It is very interesting. Instant desire fulfillment, no efforts, no time. This is very important to take. No old age, no disease. Everybody is 25-year-old, healthy, no hospitals, no disease, no decay of the body, and no efforts, no work, no job, no cooking, no train, no car, no going to office, no business, no earning. Just I wish, and then that particular thing comes in front of me. I enjoy. So it is called as a bhoga yoni. Except human being, insects, animal, birds, gods, goddesses, all are considered as bhoga yoni. Human birth is karma yoni, where my karma matters. And with karma, I can erase all my sanchit karma, what has happened, and then get instantly here and now, Jivan Mukti, which is not possible for any yoni, even Devatas. So that is the reason this verse is very important, which is saying is that do not waste this human life, because once we come back from Swarga, there is no guarantee what kind of yoni we will get. As Swamiji mentioned, we can become a crocodile, we can become a scorpion. This is what he mentioned. We can become a cow, we can become a dog, we can become a tree, tiger, who, what we don't know. So now we have got intelligence. Now Upanishad desire to listen where we go there. And so this opportunity we must not lose. So the teacher is bringing the attention back of a person whose attention is engrossed into idam, into the world, to the aham, to the nishayas. Kshina lokan shavante means Swamiji mentioned holidays cannot become permanent happiness solution. Just because I want to be happy, I go for a holiday, but holiday is not my home. From a resort, I will be thrown out in the same way from Swarga, I am thrown out. And how we are thrown out from the Swarga, suddenly the person is enjoying having cup of filter coffee, the person will disappear and then come on the Bhulok. That is how people disappear, because there is no death, there is no decay, there is no burning, there is no hospital, there is no Antayatra there. So this Bhulok also is our resort. It is not our home. We have come here as a guest for some time. Shatayush, and Bhagavan is so kind. He said that my universe is infinite. I am giving you 84 lakh yonis to enjoy. But don't tell that this is mine. The moment you are attached, then there is a problem. Now, I am not saying, here only it has been said, Yat karmino na pravedayanti raga. Attachment comes. Understand the real value of human birth and do not waste in abhyudaya. If I waste it, then I become a bala child. All above happens because of paravidya is not known to me. Why? Because yat karmino, when I get engrossed into school, college, marriage, job, children, I think that is the purpose. Due to attachment to world, karma phala, which creates tenna tura, means dejection. Finally, if you talk to people who are, has married for 20, 30 years, done job for 20, 30 years, more bitterness comes than betterness. They become bitter and bitter in life than better and better. More disappointed, more dejected. So, the main point in this verse is that do not remain attached in the abhyudaya in this world. Enjoy. Bhagavan says, I have given you this world to enjoy. No problem. You come to resort, enjoy, but then go back to your home. That's the reason in Chinmaya Mission we say, Hari home. Ishtapurtam manyamana. So there is a why to listen to Vedanta, why to go to, Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita, why to do all this kind of ritual. Just do good, be good. Just be a good person, do good job, do some charitable job, do some small puja. That is enough. So here Ishta and Purta, Ishta Purtam Manyamana Varishtam, na Varishtam. It is not Varishta. Varishta means higher. What is Ishta and Purta? Ishta and Purta are the two types of good deeds that people do in this world. This is very beautifully summarized. What is Ishta? Ishta is karma, yajna along the lines of Vedic injunctions called as Ishta. Why it is been done? Because to be happy in this world, and suppose I am creating punya for going to Swarga, higher worlds. So some people are doing puja and then doing lot of worship, japa. Why they are doing? Bhagwan, mera life acha rakho. When we go to temple and what we pray, Bhagwan, my life, my family life, all this life, So I am praying for what? Good life. No problem. This is a natural desire, but this is Ishta karma. This is accomplished by Ishta. Earlier days, Yajna was done. Now we are not doing Yajna, but good karmas can lead to this. What is Purta? Charitable actions. Like some people say, I am not believing in going to temple and putting, milk on that Shivalinga. I will be basically interested in planting trees, giving charities to poor people. I will build old age homes. Then I will, give some people, poor people food. So this is called as Purtam. Now here what is being mentioned in Mundakopanishad, Ishta Purtam Manyamana Varishtam. It is not Varishtam. Na Varishtam. These deeds are noble, these deeds are good, but they are not the highest. Why? Above both cannot break the chain of birth and death, it cannot break the chain of impermanence, it cannot break the self ignorance, it cannot give me total self life fulfillment. The phala of aparavidya is temporary, creates psychological dependency, and it cannot take us out from cycle of continuation of birth and death. In the beginning, it appears to be happiness, but actually there is lot of dukkha in it. Like when somebody near and dear goes, there is so much of dukkha. Then one day I have to leave and everything go. Then there will be dukkha to other. I will be also so dukkhi that I have to leave whatever I have created here. The phala of Paravidya is permanent liberation from dukkha, bondage and limitation. Efforts, cycle of birth and death. That is very important. Guruji says, no efforts. What a joy. No efforts only. Otherwise, doing something and getting something is okay. But to maintain that, so much of efforts. Like in Marathi, there is a saying, Ghar pahave bandhun, lagna karave bagun. Whole maintenance job only later on. Once I take a house, so much of maintenance. And marriage, so much of maintenance, so much effort. So now before we go to the next, again the same topic is continuing. Huh? Now there are three other analogies are taken. Gruhastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyasi. Even these Gruhastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyasi are doing certain upasanas, certain karmas. But if they are doing for, now here the example is taken as Brahmalok. Even that comes under Abhyudaya because from there also we come down. But there is another school of thought says that once you go to Brahmaloka, Brahma himself will give you liberation. But here it has been mentioned, even that falls in Abhyudaya and you come back to Bhuloka. So in Vedas, there are three sections. Karma section, Karma Kanda is there for happiness in this world and for higher. And if I do not want that, then for self purification. Then Upasana, actions for concentration, and then Jnana Kanda for moksha. What Swamiji mentioned here was that karma, suppose I do, then I will get happiness here and I can go to Swargalok. But suppose I do karma plus upasana, I can go higher than Swargalok. But that also is subject to change, that also is subject to return. But here we will see the positive sides of Vanaprastha because many of us are who are listening to Mundakopanishad are into Vanaprastha age maybe. I do not know. So Tapashraddhe. So what is Tapashraddha? Doing action as per ashram, our Swa ashram. So I must ask in what ashram I am, whether I am Brahmacharya ashram or Grihastha ashram or Vanaprastha ashram or Sannyas ashram. And with that faith I do. So that is called as definition of tapa. There are five types of people. We saw four ashrams, four types, but here five types. First are Papa Karmi, second is Alasi, third is Satkarmi, fourth is Paropkari. This Satkarmi and Paropkari were defined in the earlier phase. And the fifth one, what the attention is to be shifted is the Upasak of the imperishable, where the next further verses are going to come that how the Satkarmi can become a upasak. Satkarmi is a good person, noble person, Mahashala like Shaunako. He is ritualistic, he does all pujas, he does all yajnas, he does all charity, he has got success and happiness. But from there, how the person can shift to become a upasak of the imperishable. So, what are the four ashram? Brahmachari, the ashram, Swadharma is learning. Grihastha, the Swadharma is earning and enjoying. Vanaprastha is withdrawing and concentrating and doing some upasana. And sannyasi, the point of no return. I just focus on imperishable and abide in it. So here Vanaprastha is described for all of us to practice. Who is a Vanaprastha? One who has lived his life, brahmacharya, grihastha, now wants peace of mind for concentrating on Mundakopanishad. Minimal disturbances. Swamiji says Shravan, Manan, Nididhyasam minus SMN minus D is equal to meditation. Minimal disturbance from family, from job, from business, from neighbors, from this, from Kamwali Bai is coming to this is coming, that is coming, guests are coming. So people used to go to Aranya. Minimal duties are over. Minimal contact with the world, all contact I have done, fulfilled. Minimal worldly desires, loves aloneness, dedicated to self-knowledge, does some upasana, Swamiji mentioned, takes up one upasana for self-purification. Very important one. I must take at least one upasana for self-purification. Any one, small one, where my mind will be purified. And now the goal shifts from enjoying to earning to inner growth and life goal. And that is a preparatory method. The earlier age was Shatayushi. So 25 years Brahmacharya, 25 years Grihastha, 25 years Vanaprastha, 25 years Sannyas. So those who are above 50, we are into Vanaprasthi. What is the definition of Upasana? Swamiji gave Nikrushta Vastu Utkrishta Drushti. So one upasana the vanaprasthi takes either one small shivalinga which can be metal, glass, stone or shaligram, and then that is nikrushta vastu. But I superimpose on that God, Shivji, Vishnuji, and then I worship. Both are my thoughts only. The God also becomes my thought and the upasak also becomes my thought internally. But one upasana one takes and then one practices. That is a job of a vanaprasthi. Retirement means renunciation from mindness and sannyas means renunciation from I-ness. In other terms. So mindness must reduce. This is mine, this is mine. Because Bhagavan also gets angry only on one point. He says you do whatever you want, but don't say anything is yours because everything is mine. So Vanaprasthi who does upasana, Grihastha. Grihastha is how mentioned here, Vidvanso, who quietens the mind, and Sannyasi, one who lives on Am, Bhaikshcharyam Charanta. Seeking Krama Mukti is also not ultimate. This is also Abhyudaya. What is Krama Mukti? Gradual liberation. I do karma upasana, then I go to karma, good noble karma, then I go to Swarga, then again I come back, then I do karma and upasana, I go to higher world, then again come back, then again I do more karma, more upasana, then I will go to higher loks and then I reach the Brahma lok, and at the end of Kalpa, there will be liberation. So it is a long process. Here, what we are promised is infinite joy here and now, Jivan Mukta in this birth itself, in this body itself, in whatever situation we are. All people are entitled for Jivan Mukti. Purification, concentration, transcendence of mind. So what are the three methods for Jivan Mukti? Purification of the mind, concentration of the mind, and transcendence of the mind. And what is the result? Imperishable Brahman. This is Paravidya, which is going to be discussed in detail in the next chapter. Second chapter is dedicated to Paravidya. So how a Satkami can become a Upasak of imperishable? That is the next verse. We will just chant and see the basic meaning as Swamiji has discussed the meaning of it. Detailed Pariksha Lokan we will see in the next session. Or today also we have time. 5 minutes we can cover this verse, whatever we can cover till 9:45. Yeah, Vidya. So can we chant Pariksha Lokan thrice because this is a very important verse of Mundakopanishad.
परीक्ष्यलोकान् कर्मचितान् ब्राह्मणः निर्वेदमायान्नास्त्य कृतः कृतेन तद्विज्ञानार्थं स गुरुमेवाभिगच्छेत् समित्पाणिश्रोत्रियं ब्रह्मनिष्ठम् परीक्ष्यलोकान् कर्मचितान् ब्राह्मणः निर्वेदमायान्नास्त्य कृतः कृतेन तद्विज्ञानार्थं स गुरुमेवाभिगच्छेत् समित्पाणिश्रोत्रियं ब्रह्मनिष्ठम् परीक्ष्यलोकान् कर्मचितान् ब्राह्मणः निर्वेदमायान्नास्त्य कृतः कृतेन तद्विज्ञानार्थं स गुरुमेवाभिगच्छेत् समित्पाणिश्रोत्रियं ब्रह्मनिष्ठम्.
Beautiful. So, how to now turn from the Aparavidya to Paravidya? It's not very easy. For that, we will have to have Vairagya. And that's the reason Upanishadic student is not an ignorant student, not a student who has not lived life, who has not studied the life. So, on this Pariksha Lokan, there is a long commentary by Adi Shankaracharya in Shankar Bhashya on Pariksha Lokan. Because what Pariksha Lokan means a Upanishadic student is a student who is interested in Paravidya, who is learning Mundakopanishad. He has experienced life, seen life, and now has examined the life. Now, what is this examination or the analysis of life? Life means Lokan, Lokan means world, is the detailed analysis. And this is called as Vivek, and Vivek creates Vairagya. Otherwise, as Swamiji mentioned, it is very easy to understand everything, but to have Vairagya is not very easy. I can write Bhashya and I can write commentary and do, but to have that Vairagya, my examination has to be correct. If I am not examined properly, then again I will have to go through birth of birth and death cycle where some suffering will come, some sorrow will come. That might create some Vairagya. Because Bhagwan has different methodologies to create Vairagya. Vairagya ही नहीं आता है. So what it means that let a Brahmin, who is a Brahmin? One who is a seeker of Brahman, one who is a knower of Brahman is Brahmin. After having examined all these worlds that are gained by works, so beautiful. So whatever I have achieved till now in my day-to-day life, I want to examine it. School, college, marriage, children, family, job, business, house, car, travel. Acquire freedom from desires. Nothing that is eternal can be produced by what is not eternal. And why? The one sentence which will come in the later, the conclusion is what? The finite cannot give the infinite. In order that one may understand how to do that, one approaches the Guru with Samhita in hand. So qualification of Guru and qualification of Shishya are given here. So we have 2-3 minutes, at least we will see Pariksha Lokan. So Adhikari of Aparavidya is called as a Satkami, who is a noble person, good person. And Adhikari of Paravidya is called as a Upasak. Here in this verse it is called as Brahmin, Upasak of the imperishable. So how that Satkami can become Upasak? By analyzing the Lokan, by analyzing the world. How a Pravrutti Margi can become a Nivrutti Margi? How I can withdraw my mind from the world to Nishreyasa, from Abhyudaya to Nishreyasa? By examining. So what is Pariksha Lokan? By examination of the world. So this also we must remember, anybody coming to us to discuss about God, People argue about God. We must say, okay, wait. First, we must discuss about world, which is pratyaksha praman. Then we will discuss about myself, and then we will come to God. First of all, our analysis about the world itself must be correct. So, what is our assumption about the world? That world is real, number one. Second, world is giving me happiness. And what is the world made up of? Only situations, objects, people, and nature. So this is the assumption what we are living into, and that's the reason my attention constantly goes into seeking happiness from the world. Now, how to do Pariksha Lokan? Let us do systematically. Karma Chitan. So Karma Chitan means this. Let us analyze the karma. What is karma? Karma can only do four things. Action can do only four things. What I want to produce something, then karma can produce something. If I want to gain something in this world, then action is the only thing what I have to do. If I want to improve something, then action is required. And if I want to destroy something, then action is required. So these are the four things which action can do. But the imperishable is not possible by karma because that is me only. So I have to just know Om Brahmavid Apnoti Param. So in this world, if I want to gain something, improve something, produce something, or destroy something, action is required. And that action must be efficient, competent, on time, and then it has to be proper, then only it will give me results. Pratyaksha Praman, let us apply now. Less happiness than expected. And this happiness comes with sorrow and fear. One nowadays, the example what we take is just few years back, before the oven and the mixer was not there, to make idli it takes 2 days, but to eat it takes 2 minutes. And this happiness comes with sorrow, fear, and in that gaining happiness there is a loss of time, money, energy. Anuman Praman. What is Anuman Praman? Inference. See the Vyapti, I think that money is happiness, relationship is happiness, security is happiness, power is happiness, fame is happiness, but it only gives me temporary happiness and it can go anytime. Agama Brahman, Shastra Brahman, that it is impermanent, Shastra says, changing, limited, and Jayate Gacchati iti Jagata. So it is constantly changing, constantly moving, and from that I am expecting permanent happiness. So it is my own fault that I have not examined this world properly. Anek anartha, it creates lot of problems. It gives me dukkha, it creates health problem, age problem, failure, disappointment. It is like an mirage, and in that mirage water I want to fish. Do fishing and have fish and enjoy that eating fish. It is not possible. The mirage water cannot quench my thirst. Gandharva Nagar, it is only in the mind. And Nalini Dalagata Jalamati Taralam, this life is so fragile. People sit in that one aeroplane, that aeroplane goes, all thing goes. It's temporary. So what is Sansara? Karma Chintan. Sadhya depends upon sadhana, karma efforts, subject to doing on time, rules and availability. So when we analyze this world, we will see how Swamiji is also going to discuss in detail. We will take those points also. So homework for this week is that analysis of the world and what I have got from this world. Pariksha Lokan is a very important mantra in this Mundakopanishad, where Adi Shankaracharya has given a big commentary. Different ways, different praman he has used to analyze this world, which we saw some of them here. And then the conclusion is what? That it is wisdom, intelligence to suppose a peanut bowl is kept before us and a diamond bowl is kept before us. The monkey will go for peanuts, the human being will go for diamonds because these are all diamonds. Because the human being would know that this diamond bowl, if I take my 10, 15 generations can eat peanuts. So whether I want Abhyudaya or Nishreyasa, all this Mantras in the second section of chapter 1 are devoted to create vairagya towards Abhyudaya. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.